my lovely kitty cats. How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody is really good. Um, we have a little bonus video here this week. Um, excuse me. I still have a little bit of that cold left. Um, so yeah, we have a little bonus video here this week, and it is a tag that I was tagged in. Um, and I gotta tell you, I love being tagged. Um, and so, yeah, I'm kind of anxious to do this. Although, this tag is called the 30 Things Everybody Wants to Know About You. Okay, well, I've taken these tags before, and we'll see how much you really want to know about me. Um, so we're just going to get started. And question number one is, what is your real name? Well, my real name is Denzel Washington, but I call myself Bob just because I want to blend in. Robert. Bob. And actually, most of my friends call me Bobby. So, and that's with a Y, not an IE. Okay, second question. What is your favorite color? My favorite color is purple. Um, Question number three. What is your favorite type of food? Well, I think my all-time favorite type of food would be Italian. Um, I have, for some reason, loved veal parmesan ever since I was a kid. Go figure. Um, and I love lasagna, and I love Italian sausage and peppers, and um, I love stuffed shells. I love manicotti, and basically anything with ricotta is good for me. Um, but I also really like Mexican food, and I do enjoy um, Polish food from my childhood. Um, Kielbasa, pierogies, kapusta, um, that sort of thing, halupkis. Um, and that's the food I grew up with, and I do still love the Polish food. Okay, what is your favorite holiday? Um, well, it's cliche to say my favorite holiday is Christmas, but I do love Christmas. And of course, I love Halloween. Um, but I think my favorite holiday of them all would be Groundhog's Day. Okay. What is your favorite season? Well, we all know how much I loathe winter. So that is not my favorite season. I do love spring when it's just getting warm during the day, and those first couple days you can go without a jacket, and it's so nice after the cold winter, and the trees are budding and the flowers are starting to poke up through the ground. I love spring flowers. I love daffodils. I love tulips. I love crocuses. Um, but I do also love fall. I love the colors of fall. I love the rustling through leaves, fallen leaves. I love the golds and reds and oranges and rich browns of fall. And those first couple days where it's still warm enough during the day that you can go without a jacket, but it's a little chilly, starting to get a little chilly at night. And those first couple nights that you can still leave the windows open, but you have to sleep under a blanket and sort of cuddle up. And I love that too. Um, okay. How old are you? Well, um, I am 55. And um, I say that very honest, 55. However, I was always told that everybody lies about their age, and the older you get, the younger you want to say you are. But you should never lie and say you're younger. You should always lie and say you're older. Now, why would you want to do that? Well, I'll tell you. Because if you are say you're 50 and you say you're 45, you run the risk of people saying, "Oh my god, you look old for 45. You look terrible for 45." But if you're 50 and you say you're 55, 90% of the people will say, "Oh my gosh, I don't believe it. You look so good for 55." Hello. But I am 55. Um, where do you live? Well, I think we all know pretty much where I live. I've not made a big secret out of it. Um, I live in the Northeast United States, in Pennsylvania, to be exact, and I live in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Um, and we've lived here in Allentown for just over a year now. When we first moved to this area, we lived in Bethlehem, and then we found this house and moved to Allentown. So that's where I live, Allentown, PA. Um, have you ever lived in another state? Yes, I have. I've lived kind of all over the place, especially when I was performing. Um, there were times where I would have like maybe a 3 or 4 month contract or a 6 month contract somewhere. Um, and so I've lived in Florida, obviously. I've lived in Las Vegas, Nevada. I've lived in New York um, City, um, and of course Pennsylvania. So, okay. Next question is, what is your favorite state? Um, well, I actually have visited every state in the United States, traveling around with the group that I performed with. And I have to say that my heart still belongs to Florida. Um, I love Florida. I love being in Florida. I love um, having roots in Florida. I do love Nevada, though. I do love Las Vegas. Um, Would I want to live there again, or maybe just go for vacation? I don't know. But Florida is my favorite state. Oh, next question is favorite vacation. Well, that would probably be if we're talking about in the United States, that would be Las Vegas. If you've never been to Las Vegas, you got to go. It's too much fun. Um, okay. Favorite restaurant? Well, there were quite a few restaurants in Lancaster that were not big chain restaurants that I really loved. Um, there's also a couple around here that are not big chain restaurants that I really love as well. Um, there's one there's one Italian restaurant that I really love, and there's one Mexican restaurant around here that I really love. If we're talking about chain restaurants, um, I do love Carrabba's Italian Grill. Um, Again, Italian, anything Italian. Um, okay. Do you shop online? Shop online. Have you met me? That's all I do is shop online. Oh my gosh. Yes, I shop online. Um, Favorite thing to buy online? Well, of course, I think we all know that my favorite thing to buy online would be jewelry. Um, okay, favorite TV show? Um, well, right now, and I'm not sure that I really, really want to admit this. However, it's one of my guilty pleasures. I do like Real Housewives of Atlanta. Um, and it's funny because I don't watch any of the other Real Housewives franchises. The only one I watch is Atlanta. Um, those women just are way too funny and way too much drama and way too shady. And I just love them. I love each and every one of them. Um, so yeah, Real Housewives of Atlanta, I love. Um, I also find myself loving the new Roseanne, the reboot for Roseanne. Um, Roseanne was one of my favorite sitcoms in the '80s, um, and the reboot is pretty good. I mean, they have not lost their funny. Um, and so I really do like the new Roseanne. I like the new Will and Grace, although I can never remember when it's on, so I hardly ever watch it. Um, and I do like other reality shows like Project Runway. Love Project Runway. Um, and I actually do love The Walking Dead. I never miss The Walking Dead. Um, Favorite Favorite shows from the past, of course, would be, I mean, I've already said Roseanne. I never missed an episode of Golden Girls, and I never missed an episode of Designing Women. And I can pretty much, um, I can pretty much do every one of those episodes of all three of those sitcoms, word for word. That's how much I've watched them, or maybe just how much useless crap is stuck in my brain. I don't know which, but um, they were my favorites. Okay, let's see. Top five favorite movies. This thing really jumps around, doesn't it? Um, top five favorite movies. Wow, that's impossible. That's impossible to name just five. Um, because I love so many. Um, I think the three movies that I've watched the most, and we're probably talking into the hundreds, um, because there's the three movies that, if I'm really bored and I want to watch a movie, that I'll go to for different reasons. Um, and probably the movie that I've watched the most would be A Star Is Born, but not the original. I love the Barbara Streisand Star Is Born. Barbara Streisand and Chris Christopherson kills me every time. Every time. Every time he drives off in that little sports car playing her music and he disappears up over the hill, and uh you know what's coming next, and it just kills me. Um so that would be a movie that I would watch for, I guess, the drama, or just because I love Barbara Streisand and Chris Christopherson. Um, my favorite horror movie would be Carrie, the original with Sissy Spacek and William Catt, Amy Irving, John Travolta. Um, love Carrie. Um, and can recite the movie right along with them. Okay. Um, Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Piper Laurie, she scares the hell out of me in that movie. Um, and then my third movie would be my feel good movie would be another Sissy Spacek, actually, Coal Miner's Daughter, the story of Loretta Lynn. Love, love, love Coal Miner's Daughter. Um, so that's three. It's impossible to pick anything else that would be in the top five because I love so many. I love every old Barbra Streisand movie. Um, for Pete's sake, I love For Pete's Sake. What's Up, Doc? Um, Funny Girl, Funny Lady. Hello, Dolly. Oh my God. Um, just love all those old movies. Love my Diana Ross Mahogany and Lady Sings the Blues. Um, do you see sort of a gay theme happening here? Yeah. Um, what genre of movie do you like the best? Well, I've given you my top three for different reasons. Horror, but not slasher horror. I don't like slasher movies like Freddy and Jason and all that. But Carrie, movies like Carrie, psychological thrillers, the feel good, what we would call a chick flick these days, um, and dramas. I do like comedies. Monster in Law to this day cracks me up. So yeah, I mean, I pretty much like a little bit of everything. What is your favorite type of music? Well, I have to say that being 55, I don't really know much of the current stuff. I just don't listen to it. Um, I mean, I can tell you who some of these people are, sort of, but I don't couldn't really probably name any of their songs, or if I heard their song, I couldn't tell you really who it was. Um, I'm an old Studio 54 fart. I love disco. I love old classic disco, 70s rock, um, and 80s dance music. Um, was a teenager in high school in the 70s, was just going out to clubs in the 80s. So, yeah, 70s, 80s music. I do know some 60s music because I, heard my mother playing 60s music as I was growing up. Um, Never been a huge, like, Beatles fan or, you know, Rolling Stones or any of that stuff. Not a hard rock kind of guy, uh, but I do know some. Um, do you have kids? I'm assuming you mean two-legged kids. No, no, don't have kids. Um, do you have pets? Well, yes, I have pets. I think everyone knows I have pets, and um, they're actually not my pets. They are my kids. And so, of course, there's three. Um, Khan, which is the black kitty, he's a Bombay. Then there's Chewy, my other boy, Chewbacca. Of course, we call him Chewy. Um, oh, and Khan is not Star Trek Khan or Genghis. Um, he's named for the Jungle Book, Shere Khan. Um, Chewie is named after the Star Wars Chewbacca because when he was a baby, he used to make this little noise that sounded like a little baby Chewbacca, and so that's how he got his name from this little sound he made. And then there's the little girl Mia, who is a Balinese, and she Mia is 3, almost 4. Chewie is 4, almost 5. Khan is 6. Um, and Chewie is a strange breed. Chewie, I call my Beng Konamise. Um, Chewie's father was a Bengal Siamese mix, and his mother was a Maine Coon. So he's a Beng Konamise. Um, Very strange combination. What type of house do you live in? Well, I live in very nice sized 3 bedroom, um, a 3 bedroom Cape Cod. Um, and my house was built in 1951, and the folks that owned it, they didn't touch a dang thing in here, uh, cosmetic wise, um, since it was built. So it still has pretty much the original bathroom, the original kitchen, um, which some people think is very cool. I personally would love to update the kitchen. Um, a little retro goes a long way, if you know what I'm saying. Um, but it's pretty. It's got a pretty open staircase. It's got lovely um, archways. The rounded archway between the rooms, and it's got a very cool old big heavy front door. Um, and it's just a real pretty. It's a pretty little house. I really love my house. Okay. Do you prefer living in the city or living in the country? And do you live in the city or the country? Okay, well, I prefer the city. Depends on what city and what area of the city. Um, I always loved living in downtown Lancaster because you could walk to restaurants, you could walk to the farmers market, you could walk downtown, you could walk to the clubs. Everything was right there. But 5 minutes in any direction, and you were in the country. Um, it's not so much like that here. I wouldn't want to live in downtown Allentown, quite frankly. And there's really no country to speak of around here. Um, I mean, we pretty much are. If you go to the south, you're in Philly. If you go to the east, you're in New York City. Um, and so we're really kind of the suburbs of a couple really big cities. And as far as Allentown goes, we're suburbs. We're suburbia. Um, which is still nice. Our area is still pretty cool because there are restaurants that you can walk to. There are stores that you can walk to. I can certainly get to the Dollar Tree very easy, to Family Dollar, to the Walgreens drugstore, and quite a handful of restaurants. Um, so even though we're in the suburbs, it's still convenient. Um, Favorite craft to do? Well, I love anything Christmassy crafts. Probably Christmassy crafts are the um, most crafts I have in my stuck in my brain. Um, I do love to do floral. I love to do floral arrangements, wreaths, and that kind of thing. I did work years and years ago, um, at a flower shop, but we were strictly silk, flowers, trees, plants, and giftware. And that was probably one of my most favorite jobs, because it was a very creative job. We did custom floral arrangements, and so it was very creative and it was fun. And so to this day, I still enjoy doing floral arrangements and wreaths, centerpieces, mantelpieces, and wreaths. So those are my favorite crafts. Favorite night out. Okay, well, since I very rarely leave the house. I don't go out anymore. Um, but in my younger days, my favorite night out would have been probably going out to dinner, um, and then going to the club and getting at the club between 11 and midnight and staying until they kicked us out at like 3. Um, then going either out to breakfast or to the convenience store to grab a quick something to eat sandwich and some bags of chips because you get the drunk munchies, and then going home and hopping on the internet for a while. That would be that was a fun night out for me. Okay, I'm getting to the end here, guys. Um, other than a dog or a cat, what is your favorite animal? Well, I think my favorite animal other than a dog or cat would have to be polar bear. Um, I absolutely love polar bears. Um, Tony and I went to the Philadelphia Zoo one day on just a day trip, and I couldn't get him out of the big cat exhibit. Um, he loves tigers. Tigers are his favorite, and tiger is pretty much his spirit animal. And he loves lions and um, you know panthers and just all of those big beautiful cats. But tigers, especially white tigers, are Tony's favorite. Um, and I couldn't get him out of that habitat, as well as he couldn't get me away from the polar bears. Um, and I like most. I mean, I'm an animal lover, so I could say I love pretty much every animal. But yeah, polar bears are definitely my favorite. Um, okay. Do you prefer mountains or beach? Beach, beach, beach. Definitely Floridian. I want to be on the West Coast, on a white sandy beach on the Gulf of Mexico with palm trees. Mm, love it. So definitely beach. Um, what? I'm not sure what that one says. Oh, okay. What do you do for a living? Um, I am on disability. I'm on disability because of my diabetes, high blood pressure, and the amputations. What I have done for a living, well, you know that I have been a female impersonator. I've worked in retail most of my life. Um, I've worked tabletop. I've worked in clothing. I've worked in shoes. I've worked in um, food. I've worked fast food restaurants. I've worked um, fine dining restaurants. I've worked in convenience stores. Um, I've, of course, sold jewelry. I was a florist, worked in a silk floral shop. Um, you name it, just about anything but car parts. Um, okay, favorite style of clothing. Well, depends on which personality you're talking to. If you're talking to Rhea LaRue, it would be anything bugle beaded, sequined, rhinestoned, sparkled, bedazzled, glittered, flashy. If you're talking to Bob, depends on which Bob you're talking to. I'm a real polo shirt and jeans kind of guy. Although I do enjoy being dressed up. Um, I also wear a lot of um, jersey shorts. I wear a lot of sweats. I wear a lot of t-shirts. That's what you can find me in most of the time these days is either shorts, sweats, or t-shirts. Um, but I'm also kind of a label. I do love designer stuff. Um, I've always loved designer stuff. Um, Polo, Tommy Hilfiger, um, Louis Vuitton, Dior, Gucci. I can't help it. It's how I was raised. Um, and the last and final question. I'm sure you guys are like, thank God, if you're still even here. Um, your favorite Christmas present? Okay, well, how do you answer that one too? Like, my favorite Christmas present of all time since I was a kid, or my favorite Christmas present from last year, or my favorite Christmas present is the gift of family, actually. Is being able to spend the holiday with your loved ones and your friends that you call your family. Um, and the fellowship that you have with your family that time of year is definitely what I'm most thankful for. Um, I don't know. Um, I can't even come up with a favorite Christmas gift. Um, I love and appreciate everything that I've received as a Christmas gift over the years. So I don't know. I still say family. Um, anyway, guys, that is the 30 questions everyone wants to know about you. Some of those questions I can't imagine. Um, People wanted to know. Um, oh, and you know what? I skipped one actually. The one I skipped was what is your dream car? Well, I've owned my dream car once in my life, and it was a '92 Cadillac Fleetwood 60 Special. Um, Black on black on black, four door, huge, gorgeous car. The only problem was I always got stuck with the relatives' ashes in my back seat going to the cemetery. Um, you know, it was always, Bob drives a hearse, just get him to take you. Okay, whatever. Um, so that was my dream car. Um, my dream car My dream car now would have to be, well, anything Cadillac. Um, Escalade. Um, I love anything Cadillac. I also love Mercedes. I've owned a couple of Mercedes, and I really love them. They're my second favorite car, next to Cadillac. And I've owned some Lincolns, and every time I buy a Lincoln, I drive it for a while and I think, why the hell did I buy this Lincoln? I don't like Lincolns. They're beautiful, but I don't enjoy driving them. Um, and then I always go back to a Cadillac. So there you go. Anyway, guys, that is the last question. And so I'm going to say goodnight for now. And I hope to see you guys tomorrow for Storytime Wednesday. And Friday, hopefully, keep your fingers crossed, folks, hopefully for a haul. But we shall see. I got actually 2 packages in this week from Wish. So if worse comes to worse, I can haul those 2 packages. But we'll see. Hopefully we'll get, it's only Tuesday. So hopefully we'll get some more packages in by Friday. Okay, guys, so this was the 30 questions or 30 things everyone wants to know about you tag. And I'm actually not going to tag any one person on this video. I'm just going to tag everyone. So all of my YouTuber friends, if you're watching this video and you'd like to participate in this tag, you're it. In the meantime, guys, stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. Don't get fleas by all means. And I love you all very, very much. And I will see you next time. Okay?